Hello and welcome people back to Let's Play Syberia. Now we're following Momo because we of course want to hear more of this 40-year-old woman pretending to be a child, and they skipped the animation of walking down the ladder, which is nice.
I do like how they have a lot of machines, which are just machines that have a person-shaped thing sitting on them for no reason.
Oh yes, like if you've read the whole diary, they actually point out how Anna has or is it one of the letters? I know that Anna was specifically designing the factory according to what Hans wanted it to be. Like he was all about those sorts of decorations, like all of the little unnecessary things, like the little men sitting on everything, holding stuff, or like doing little things. Like for example, the stamping machine. It couldn't have simply been a stamping machine.
Right. It had to be a little guy.
It had to have a little automaton attached to it. A little man.
Without that, like, I mean, you know, it wouldn't have the same soul.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is a place where we couldn't go before. Momo actually has a key for it.
And is it going to remain open, or is it like it just lets you? Oh, okay.
But you only ever need to access it right now.
But what if you wanted to see that great water texture?
Yeah, that the 2001 water.
I mean, it's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I
mean, I know that it's not like the greatest of all time, but it's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And here we're gonna see one of the weaknesses of this game's art style, and that is trees.
Oh.
Like yeah, they like here is the thing. This game was designed by an artist. They showed his name at the beginning of the game, Benoit Sokal, or however you pronounce that. Benoit Sokal. In any case, he did a lot of he did all of the art direction for this.
Left to rot. Now it's full of holes.
But the entire game was actually 3D rendered afterwards.
It's a shame this boat's been
like based off of that. It seems, except for the trees.
Well, it reminds me a little bit of that new King's Quest game where they actually painted the backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. But like, it would have worked, obviously, if the whole game was painted.
I still think it looks kind of good.
Momo. This
because it's like well done.
It is, but like the trees are the only thing that sort of sticks out from otherwise very
Momo like make splash in water.
You sure do.
Make splash in water,
I look more like an explorer than a lawyer now. If Dan could see me, I don't think he'd like what he saw. Momo don't.
What's with her and Dan? Get over Dan.
Why have you brought me here?
Mama's doll in cave. Very important for Hans, Anna say.
Cave? What cave? Where?
Momo not liar.
You didn't call him one.
Why have you brought me here?
Yeah, no, the mordant.
Right. Now we're here. What do we do?
Kate and Momo throw stones in water.
Momo, we're here because of the cave. Something to do with the cave.
Momo and Kate, friends.
Now, I should mention that despite...
this really is the part where he bashes you over the head with a rock and then throws you in the water.
All these years, Anna's brother is still alive.
Anna always said
that would be a twist.
Come back, maybe.
But no, what I was gonna say is you can actually say you can actually ask help first.
Automatons made by
Momo,
Oh,
And
it'll
then
change what she
and
says, right?
it doesn't change anything.
Momo.
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't,
Ah.
sadly. It's just
Tell me,
like
Momo,
sometimes if you
did you
ask
come
things
here a
out
lot
of
with Anna?
order, it
Mhm.
will be like, how do you, why,
Anna
what?
like Momo. Anna like Hans.
Um,
Anna on journey.
I feel like this is a story about how Momo's murdered all these
Momo?
people.
The
Like,
town
they're
is
on a
suspiciously
journey.
empty.
They go someplace better. They Momo's friend. Oh, you can't walk through that ankle-high water there.
Mm-mm. We're a lawyer. Can't
You'll
do such
dissolve.
things.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are hollow, so you're probably, water-soluble in some way.
Should just fall apart. But now what I was
Mhm.
saying about, like, the backgrounds are a weird combination of both 3D rendered and painted.
Right.
And for the most part, it looks really good, in my opinion.
Must be broken.
Yeah.
I've got to get
Just
a helping hand here.
the trees are the only thing that sticks out a little bit.
I can't walk down any other part of the stairs except for the very center. I'm obsessive compulsive.
Momo, I've got something else I want to ask you.
Momo listening.
So we have to use him as a beast of burden.
Can
Oh, I
help
thought you were
me,
gonna say he
please?
like goes into your
What do?
inventory and he just
Help me
rub
open the
Momo on
dam.
things.
Um.
She just puts him
Momo's
inside of her
strong.
jacket. And nothing changes.
Just pulls him in. Has the
Mhm.
same animation as per the document.
Oh, I was imagining like tentacles lash out from inside of her jacket, and he goes screaming inside. But both could work.
Yeah, she has breasts of holding.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, bud.
Well, we ain't gonna pull anything with that or push anything with that, but we still can
But it
use it
can't
for
get absorbed
something.
inside of your infinite jacket of holding.
That's what I mean. Now you have a gigantic piece of wood stuffed inside your jacket.
It'll be good for defending yourself when Momo comes after you. Momo like Kate. Kate, stay with Momo.
I don't think it's hard enough for that.
Wait, what? Why are we
Because
using
there is
the lever?
there's this row that you can
You can't reach
That
without
floor is
putting
all
your feet in
dirty
water.
and wet.
Oh, and because she's too good, she can't touch it. She has to ask a disabled boy to do it for
Wow.
her.
Wow.
Momo, I've got some.
Momo.
I've moved the ore nearer. Be a good boy and carry it for me.
Momo say
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
We like it's too dirty with
They
our
actually should
lawyer
have put him in your
hands.
inventory.
She
So
didn't.
you could go. So you wouldn't
she
have to run
didn't
back and forth.
spend so many years in law school to carry around and to touch dirty ores, you know?
And that is a Gucci jacket, okay? Do you know how expensive that is?
It probably is Gucci.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad we got to see this. What? Okay. That was important and necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That entire animation.
And now we need to ask him again. Trust me, this is the faster way of doing this.
If
Can you
only
help
he
me,
was in
please?
your inventory.
What do?
I need a hand
Momo
opening the
things.
dam.
Momo say yes. Momo
Yeah,
strong.
like in Sam and Max, use Momo on.
Yes.
But yeah, this is what we needed an ore for because it's
Oh,
stronger.
it's just like Overlord.
Yeah, we have just one Bumblebee.
Momo is the minion.
Mm-hmm.
would love it if that was a fail state because you needed that other piece of wood and you needed to remember to get it before you told them to put this plank there.
And we couldn't.
Momo very strong.
Thank you, Momo.
He just sounds drunk, to be honest. Momo very strong.
They probably had to get that woman drunk to do that role.
Read the lines. I don't wanna. After some schnapps.
But yeah, you could actually read about the problems with the dam, and that it has recently, just recently been closed. In the newspaper, actually.
Oh, gotcha.
So we're undoing what they have been fighting for.
Well, if the whole town's flooded, that's one thing. But if you can't get into this cave to get this mammoth plushie, like, game over.
That is true. That is entirely true.
If all those innocents, die,
It was actually about nesting place of some bird living in the area. So the species going to extinction, but we have a mammoth plushie, and we're not going to fix the dam.
It's all about this, it's commentary on man's hubris.
Hello?
Kate? Is that you?
Well, yeah, who did you think it was?
I didn't recognize your voice, that's all. Must be the distance or something. So, spill the beans. What's Europe like? You lucky lady, you. Honestly, I never get that kind of break.
Well, so far all I've seen of Europe is this tiny village, and frankly, they're not very hospitable. Well, the whole case is getting really complicated. There's this surprise heir I've got to find.
No. I talked to Lynn who bumped into Joss and she had coffee with the head honcho this morning. He didn't sound at all happy. The client's meeting him tomorrow, and when Marston tells him that the sale's not even gone through yet, whoa, you're gonna be pleased you're on the other side of the ocean when that bomb goes off.
Yeah, I get the picture. But so, how about yourself? What's up at work?
We lost the Sarah Lou trial. I worked 5 months on that dumb case.
I remember.
So, for a bit of therapy, I went to Boomy's. The sale started yesterday.
Wow, lucky.
It was absolutely crazy.
I'm so glad to know about the sales of Bloomingdale's.
Guess how much I got it for?
I'm just ecstatic and not falling asleep
200?
at all.
$140.
$140.
Oh, so exciting.
Like it's my choice. Look, I gotta go.
This is way less awesome than, like, if this was a Barbie game and we got to go shopping, that'd be one thing.
Get out
But now
here.
I feel like we're just one of the friends that calls Barbie.
I will.
Or that you can,
And doesn't actually get to do any of the cool stuff. She's stuck in the jungle.
Yeah. That's what happened. That was someone from a Barbie game, like, just went through the phone and said, "Who's this Kate person?" and clicked it, and that's what that conversation was about. A far
Well,
more
I know
interesting
who
game.
I'm unfriending on Facebook. But yeah, the phone calls actually serve a pretty nice role, as in adding a lot of background information for Katie without her having to do any exposition to the other characters about her history.
Yeah, but I still don't know why I should care, and I feel like that's the first thing you need to establish. Establishing that she's a normal person with normal friends should come after you become invested in the character, in my opinion.
Well,
Because
I mean,
now she's
it's also kind of it also kind of shows you what kind of person she is, what kind of sphere she's from. Like she has a boyfriend who or fiance who literally just had a meeting that and telling about how they're going to lose millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So she's
rich
stacked.
bitch.
Yes. And then you have she has a friend who goes shopping for purses for $250.
Mm-hmm. But she got it for $140. Now that's a steal.
And that is the important part. I am so glad she got it for that cheap, because otherwise, it just wouldn't be. It would be a waste of money, you know.
There was this app for a while that got taken off the store, but it cost $1,000, and all it did was like, so it didn't do anything. It just was a way of showing that you were rich. And I think 8 people bought it before it was removed.
Well, they deserved it. But yeah, now we're going to the we're gonna be going to the main meat and bones of this area, and it's the Vorarlberg factory
with lots of mechanical puzzles.
Not quite as many as you would expect, but a lot of mens, a lot of unnecessary mens attached to everything.
Why would you just have the arms when you could have those adorable little top hats?
Exactly.
They you know, they're very functional.
And also a mechanism for the on and off switch of the for the on and off switch, like this just operates the on and off switch.
Yeah, well, you know,
like a mechanical hamster.
Factories don't care about efficiency or anything like that. They care about adorable mechanical hamsters.
And just push that little thing. One other piece of visual design that I really like is on each and every one of these machines, in some place you can see the Vorarlberg symbol. You could see it also in the pamphlet that we got when we arrived. Mm-hmm. The Vorarlberg key, and it comes back in many of these devices. Which begs the question: why we do not keep, why we don't keep them around after using them?
As you use them, they're made of sugar.
Probably. I mean, all things considered, these devices break for reasons. They're made of sugar.
There we go. We've cracked the case.
But you mentioned something about the why did they not turn off the music for the conversation? Yeah, the music just turns on randomly, pretty much.
That always is weird because like you feel like, you know, the moments where the music really swells while you're doing something very mundane or talking to your friend, but then it's like super quiet when you've solved the case or whatever.
The thing is, the music turns on pretty much when you solve a puzzle.
What happened to you, my poor munchkin? I've been trying to contact you for hours.
I'm in Europe, Ma. Job thing.
What? Europe? My God. Oh, I've got such happy memories of Europe. Some of them even involve your father, but that's enough of that. Tell me, where are you? Paris? London? Venice?
Valladolid. Yeah, I know, it's a bit out in the boonies.
What in the world are you doing out there?
You know, business. I've got to see through the takeover of some old family business that's got a few debts. It's a really charming place, but there's one or two weird things going on here. I can't go into it now.
Oh, well, that's right. Your old mother's too dumb to understand it. You really
Wow.
need to take after your father sometimes.
Mother.
That's some good mom passive aggression right there.
You'll never guess who I saw yesterday.
Ma, I haven't got a lot of time, you know.
Frank!
Ma, please. I've got to go.
Frank! Frank Malkovich, the Russian opera singer. Well, maybe you don't remember him. He was quite a star in his day.
Listen, Ma, I really don't have the time. I'll call you back.
He is as charming as he always was. We spent the...
Mom, I really have to go. I'll call you back, I promise. Lots of love.
Kate!
Call her back right now.
It's a good thing we cut her off before she went off going about her new husband, though.
Yeah, and she was gushing a little bit, but I loved that because that was a very mom conversation. Like some of the earlier conversations weren't nearly as believable as that one.
Exactly. The lady who did the mother really got into the role. And she's just as precious in the Polish version.
But I would love it if after she said, "I'll call you back, I promise." You just went to your phone and called your mom back.
Sadly, you can't actually do that.
And then what happens is she says, "I have to go now. I'll call you back, I promise." And then you go to your phone and call your mom back.